We're back.
Oh, God.
Catching up with two forward-thinking young couples.
I'm excited.
I suppose I'm just waiting for the catch.
But as the cracks started to appear,
No, you're wrong, Phil.
we struggled to keep it together.
Well done, breaking the bed. I understand this isn't going well.
But it's when we're on the edge that we're at our best.
This is how it's done, Phil.
That is gorgeous.
Tick, tick, tick.
Hopefully it's been win-win-win for our go-getters.
I was hoping you were going to say, well, you learned from the best.
I mean, that goes without saying.
We're catching up with two young couples who are making their maiden voyage into the property market. But the waters were choppy, with one pair searching in a desirable hotspot and the other close to getting cabin fever, having stayed put with parents. It was up to Captain Kirsty and me to guide them to safe harbour.
In 2015, Paul and Ellie were being pipped to the post on their pick of Bristol properties. In 2018, charity fundraiser Steph was living with her parents in Bowness, an hour from work in Glasgow. Railway engineer Nick was with his parents, 30 minutes away in Fauldhouse. They wanted to get under one roof and cut their commute. They'd met on the dance floor and, after 7 years living apart, were ready to shimmy onto the property ladder.
She comes up, so I take it you don't dance. I dance, so I always dance.
He's always been a better dancer. Yeah.
My hips can move. Turn and go.
In his spare time, amateur coach Nick's fancy footwork extends the football field. Steph is a keen photographer, and together they've already enjoyed many exciting adventures.
We're always planning a
Always
holiday.
planning holidays.
And everyone else is always asking, oh, where are you guys off to next? But I think now we're ready to...
Settle down.
They each commute up to 3 hours a day on the round trip to Glasgow. So next on the bucket list is to get out of their parents' homes and finally move in together.
The commuting to each other's houses and the overnight bags. We're getting too old to be still staying with our parents.
They're weighing in with a £20,000 deposit after some tough graft and hard saving.
We've managed to save this all ourselves and we're really, really proud of it. And I think that makes us even more determined that we can get something for the money that we've saved.
And Nick's willing to get his hands dirty to sidestep the starter flat and buy a family home.
I think a project would be good for us. So a project wouldn't phase us away.
We are trying to future-proof our home because we want to start a family hopefully one day in the future.
In the Scottish system, houses are often marketed at an offers over price, with sealed bids invited from buyers. This can mean they sell for much more than the advertised price.
On the last two houses that we have put in bids in for, people have obviously had excess money over and above the 10% deposit, so that's where we're going to struggle going forward.
You're just the person to go over and above for this pair.
Why isn't your £180,000 buying you what you want?
I don't know if we should have maybe saved more money.
Oh, no. Come on. How long have you been living apart?
7 years.
7 years. I mean, there comes a point. You both work in Glasgow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of driving. So where does that leave you looking?
Anywhere from Bonnybridge on towards Glasgow. It would hopefully cut our commute down by an hour each day.
5 hours a week? What are you looking for?
A family home, somewhere that we can bring up a family.
There's always a chance to expand as well.
Do you think you're up for more of a project, Nick, than Steph is?
I can see past, obviously, more than what Steph can see.
In my eyes, though, we've been waiting. It's been 7 years, and now we're at the point where we're ready to buy, and I just want to get in.
I can clearly see what you're going to be doing with that extra 5 hours.
Steph and Nick have saved an impressive 20 grand deposit, and along with a mortgage, they hope their budget of £180,000 will buy a 3 or 4 bedroomed house.
This will be a long-term home for them, so a family-friendly spot with a private garden would be an added bonus. And good links to the motorway should help cut their commute to Glasgow.
These first-time buyers are looking for a long-term home, so Kirsty needs to find them a family-friendly village near both sets of parents with good commuter links to Glasgow. But my buyers are after something with a big city buzz and have their sights on Bristol and some of its most sought-after areas.
Married couple Ellie and Paul both work in economic and social research in Swindon and are currently living in Cheltenham. Whereas Londoner Ellie would be happy with the bright lights of the capital, country boy Paul would be happier under the starlight of the great outdoors. To compromise, they've fastened on Bristol as the place to give them the best of both worlds for their first home.
Cheltenham is lovely, it's a very beautiful town, but it's got its limits, and I think we want to just sort of move to that bigger city feel.
There's a few reasons why Bristol's appealing to us. It's got a great multicultural atmosphere, there's lots of restaurants and bars and really good shopping. We've also got some friends there.
They really value their social circle, a large part of which revolves around their love of the outdoors.
We're both keen on running and cycling and tennis and all those sorts of things, and there's opportunity to join all those clubs, build on the friends that we've already got in Bristol, so that's a big motivator as well.
The biggest problem facing Ellie and Paul is trying to find the time to view properties in a city 40 miles away. They've only seen 20 properties in 8 months, and luck just hasn't been with them.
We've put in offers on different properties. There were a couple that came up, really lovely terraced house, but there were, I think, 12 different offers and ours wasn't accepted, so it's a little bit of a roller coaster.
They've been trying hard, and it's given them plenty of time to imagine what their dream first home's going to look like.
Our ideal property, I think, would be an older property with some nice period features to it. You'd love a fireplace as well, wouldn't you, Paul? To
Yeah.
have a log burner.
I would love to have a log burner if we could.
Paul does know this, but I'm desperate to get cats as well. So to have the outside space for that would just be really, really nice.
OK, if we're getting a cat flat, we have to have a log burner.
We can't wait to move in, go and buy some new furniture, establish ourselves a bit and just sort of enjoy a new life in Bristol.
Well, that's up to you, Phil. Get them out of their rut and onto the property ladder.
So you're living in Cheltenham, working in Swindon, house hunting in Bristol. How do you manage it?
With a little bit of difficulty, actually.
And you've lost out on a few on the way, which must have been a bit tough.
Yeah, and I think we're fighting with lots of other people who are in a similar position to us, first-time buyers, no chain.
It is quite fierce out there. During the time that you've been searching, it's gone up about 5%, which has effectively cost you 15 grand.
It's really worrying, actually, because we've sort of moved from the lower end of our budget right to the top end of our budget. And this is why we're in a little bit of a hurry to sort of get in there and find something.
We're not going to find a house sat here, as nice as it would be.
Yes, Phil, the bristling Bristol market waits for no one.
Ideally, they want to pay no more than £300,000 for a cosy new home. For that, they want 2 double bedrooms.
They're pretty keen on period features.
A manageable commute to Swindon's important.
And for the lady who wants a cat, outside space is a must.
Paul and Ellie both work in Swindon, so being close to Templemead's train station is important for their commute. They've already made 3 offers with no success, but I'm hoping I can change that, starting with our first viewing here in Spike Island, only 1.5 miles from their transport hub.
Come on in, keep up at the back.
Quite a busy road, isn't it?
It is a fairly
Yeah.
popular road.
A popular road. Nice save, Phil.
Thanks, but inside, I don't think this place needs any help. This 2-bed flat across 2 floors is great value for its size. Upstairs, the open-plan living space suits Paul and Ellie's entertaining needs perfectly. They're also after period features, which this place has in abundance. The show-stopping spiral staircase takes you downstairs to 2 decent-sized bedrooms and a nice bright bathroom. It's on at £290,000, so 10 grand under their ideal budget.
Now, the reason I wanted to show you this one is simply because it's the biggest flat that I could get you that's the closest to the station. What it doesn't have, or to any great extent, is a garden.
I was wondering where the garden was.
That's the rub.
OK, right.
For
okay,
being
that's the compromise.
£290,
Yeah.
a nice big flat close to the station.
Yeah.
OK.
OK.
I quite like the this sort of period feature, the spiral staircase going down, but the busyness of the road and the outside space, I think, is going to be an issue for me.
There's limited space for the cats Ellie wants. But at £290,000, this close to the station, you can't have it all.
Downstairs to 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
I think my immediate reaction walking in is how dark it was. A small window, and because it's low down, I guess, you're losing a lot of light.
I understand this isn't going well. I can take that on the chin. But what I would just say is, OK, 960 square feet for £290 is value for money.
If there's enough that's wrong with it for us, then it doesn't really matter sort of how good value it is.
That's fine. perfectly understandable. Whoops, I'm breaking the bed. Wasn't me, Dom. I'm doing well, aren't I? Yeah. Popular road, dark flat, but otherwise, Phil. Ooh, I've done it again.
Phil seems to be losing his grip.
Have a look at the other bedroom, and I'll see you upstairs.
OK, thank you.
Not my strongest start.
Yikes. It's gone spectacularly badly for a first viewing. I used to think I was quite good at this, but not today. I can take them to lots of other flats, but they're all going to get smaller and further away from the station, which were two of the key things that they absolutely wanted to get right.
It's not really got the outside space that we were after, has it?
No, a barbecue for two, maybe.
Yeah.
Phil is playing the blues.
Don't mind me, I'm just cheering myself up.
It's beautiful.
Look at the name on this.
Oh, it says Spencer.
It is
Made
beautiful.
for you.
Yeah, it's meant to be. But clearly this flat wasn't quite meant to be, or not for you anyway.
No, maybe not.
We came, we saw, we moved on.
You certainly didn't conquer Phil, that's for sure.
Help!
We're catching up with two young couples who were looking to launch themselves onto the property ladder. Ellie and Paul were living 40 miles away from their search area of Bristol, but that wasn't the only reason their dream home seemed far off. The first place I showed them in Spike Island was an absolute no-go.
It's not really got the outside space that we were after, has it?
No, a barbecue for two, maybe.
Yeah.
And it wasn't much simpler in Scotland for Kirsty.
Steph and Nick saved hard to get out of their parents' houses and into their first home together.
Now we're at the point where we're ready to buy and I just want to get in.
I'm taking them half an hour east of where they work in Glasgow, to the commuter-friendly town of Denny Lone Head.
The excellent motorway access is attractive to buyers. As we search, many are prepared to bid up to 10% over the property valuation.
Steph and Nick know all about that, having fallen foul of the bidding process on this very street last month.
This house here was on the market and you thought it'd be just a ticket for you.
Yeah, I think it's sold for over 200.
Over 200, so it's well outside your budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have various ways of finding property and we did a social media shout out. A house has come up in this same cul-de-sac. Now, it's smaller, obviously,
Yeah.
but that one is more than you can afford.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I'm excited.
Want to have a look?
Yes,
Yep,
please.
definitely.
Steph and Nick are the first buyers across the threshold of this detached house. On the first floor, there's an ensuite master bedroom and two further bedrooms.
And the sociable open-plan living space on the ground floor leads to a modern kitchen with expansive countryside views across the south-facing garden.
They could increase the downstairs space by converting the garage, but that would need to wait as the house has been valued close to the top of Steph and Nick's budget at £175,000.
Stairs up at that angle, you've got 3 bedrooms upstairs, large bathroom and an ensuite shower off the master bedroom. The beautiful outlook.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Oh, it is. I love the street, I love the area. It's so handy for the motorway for us as well, and what we've seen so far. It looks really
We'll go and
nice.
have a look upstairs before you pop.
You started off with a bang, but downsizing their expectations from the 4-bedroom house across the cul-de-sac may be more of a challenge.
But yeah, definitely we'd have enough room for people to come over and stay as well.
Definitely.
It's quite a thing to drop in size. Particularly in Steph's mind, she wanted this first home to be, in many ways, the forever home. She wanted the starter, the main course and the pudding. That means I don't think this is a done deal.
What do you think?
I love it. I really like it.
I think they're ready to ask for the cheque. They might even leave you a tip, Kirsty.
Come on out, you two. So you've seen it all.
Seen it all. Tick, tick, tick.
Tick, tick, tick.
Definitely. Plenty of space for a hot tub. Yes.
This would be a brilliant place for a hot tub.
Our own little party pad.
So, what are the downsides?
The only one thing for me is the stairs coming off of the living room.
Yeah.
I'd quite like a private hallway.
Yeah. Can you live with that?
I think I probably could, yeah.
Well, shall we say we've set the bar very high?
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
we definitely have.
Happy start to the day.
Yep.
They've plunged into this property, but we still have a couple more avenues to explore.
No need to be so smug, Kirsty. Back in Bristol, I'm changing tack after a less than steady start. And I'm heading to one of Paul and Ellie's top areas. Redland is leafy and packs a vibrant punch.
And minutes away from White Ladies Road, so...
All the bars and restaurants.
Yes.
You're already doing better than at Property 1, Phil.
So, from the
wow.
flat that had such a small garden, I thought we'd just start with this.
That is gorgeous. It's not overlooked at all, really, is it? And is it a private garden just for this flat?
It is indeed.
Excellent.
Yeah, it is the garden flat.
Excellent.
I suppose I'm just waiting for the catch.
There does have to be. It's only fair. It's not the biggest flat in the world.
Okay.
A little oasis. Come on in.
The garden and off-street parking are two big selling points here, as the flat itself is small but perfectly formed. It's got the 2 bedrooms thereafter, a cosy living room with the fireplace they want. The downside is the dining kitchen doesn't lend itself to massive dinner parties. But then that's what the garden's for. It's on at just under £300,000, so pretty much bang on their budget.
Now, it's a pretty narrow kitchen,
Okay.
so there's not going to be any kind of evening soirees in here.
I think it's workable. I think it depends what the rest of the house is like.
Let's go and have a look.
Okay.
Workable's an improvement, Phil.
Off the corridor are the 2 bedrooms,
Excellent.
nice bathroom, although internal, and what I thought was a really quite cute living room.
Oh, this is lovely.
Very homely.
It's got the fireplace that we were looking for.
The only thing that's going through my mind at the moment is there is no obvious place for a group of sort of 4, 6 people to gather and have a dinner and that sort of thing.
Why don't you guys have a look at the bedrooms, see what you think?
Here's hoping the characterful bedrooms can overcome the lack of social space.
This is sweet, isn't it?
Let's look.
Yeah.
Even though it's quite low, it feels quite light.
It's got the original shutters as well. They're lovely.
It's all going really well in there. When I first met them, I thought they're going to be really fussy and quite tricky to please. Took them to the first house, came out thinking they're going to be really tricky and extremely hard to please, but now brought them here to a flat which is very small. They're happy as Larry.
It's not the biggest in the world, but it does what we need it to do.
Yeah.
All it would need is a bit of a lick of paint and it's ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the right attitude.
Love the view from the kitchen. Really pretty.
Being able to look out onto that garden is really nice.
Well, I mean, a good long look round.
I'd say that's a good sign, Pip.
I think it's a fantastic place. You could have barbecues in the summer, all sorts, lots of entertaining.
We just have to think about the space that's available in there, thinking boring stuff like storage space. But, I mean, it definitely ticks quite a few boxes.
Great. You like it enough to forgive me for the first one?
Nearly.
Well, give it some thought overnight. Don't give it too much thought for too long,
Yeah.
because there is building interest. But we've got other things to see anyway.
There we go, back on form. Better late than never, eh, Kirsty?
Steph and Nick have come close to perfection after just one viewing. But to help these grafters save some of their hard-earned cash, I've brought them to neighbouring Bonnie Bridge.
The average property here can be up to 50 grand cheaper than Denny Lonehead, meaning Steph and Nick would have some spare cash to tackle a project and create a long-term family home.
And to help them see the possibilities, I've enlisted my very own Mr. Fix-It.
What have you got for me here? Don't lock us out.
No, I'm not going to. 40 grand cheaper than the last one. She's not so keen to do a project, but they could move into this one and do a project at a later stage. The only thing is, I've got to tell you, the last one is a gem.
And
An
did they see it as a gem?
Totally.
Is this them?
Yeah, go and get them. I'm not going to.
Right, I've got hair as well, you know.
I couldn't possibly comment on that.
Go on then. Go on then.
Right location?
Yes.
This is how it's done, Phil.
Happy to follow your lead, Kirsty?
Well, follow closely because this house is smaller than property 1, but the living room does come off the hallway that Steph's been lacking, and the dining kitchen looks over a sunny garden.
The first floor has 3 bedrooms, plus a family bathroom. And when the smaller rooms have been outgrown, the opportunity is there to build an extension, adding both space and value.
Which for 40 grand cheaper than property 1 is well within the realms of possibility at offers over £135,000.
Right. Stairs don't come off the sitting room.
Yep.
Larger kitchen. And there is one reason, and one reason only, that we are here. It's in a location that you like.
Yep.
It's got potential to develop it further because it's got the big bit on the side. And they would be looking for around the 140 mark.
I beg to differ, but that was 3 reasons. You said very clearly it was only going to be 1 reason.
No, it's for, no, we're here.
Those are the reasons.
No, there aren't. No, you're wrong, Phil.
I'm trying to remember the reason I invited him along.
The bedrooms are going to be the compromise for you.
Yeah.
So let's go and have a look at those, shall we?
Okay.
Okie dokie.
While there's compromises to be made in the garden for Nick.
The garden isn't the greatest.
Obviously, you can see the neighbours looking back. I don't know if you can... anything behind you as well, you could do anything with that.
It'd have to be pretty tall.
Tis a bit petite up here. And this isn't even in the box room.
Would you get a double bed in here, do you think?
Just.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you haven't got anyone to put in the extra rooms just
Yeah.
yet. When were you thinking about that?
Within the next 3 to 5 years, maybe.
Oh, oh, I wouldn't bother waiting that long.
No.
As a family home, this place could shine. There's a great opportunity for a side extension, creating a large ensuite bedroom and more space in the smallest room. And the ground floor would benefit from a second reception room, perfect for growing children.
But that's a big undertaking for a couple of first-timers.
I thought that your inclination personally was more to do a project.
Yeah.
But
no,
Steph's was actually more to move straight in.
It still is. It's a project I look forward to doing, but obviously not too much.
It's much cheaper to build space than it is to buy it.
No, I understand that.
So you could add more value than it would cost you.
Oh, no, definitely.
The opportunity to expand this house may be beyond Nick's ambitions.
You're not keen on doing work, are you?
But it's the upheaval of it all when you're doing it.
I know.
And getting under the same roof is motivating Steph more than the property's potential.
So what do you think?
More siding towards house number 1.
This one, definitely.
She just said, my heart's not in it, Shed. I just want to get on with living in the house.
Yeah. You've already shown something they like. Happy days.
There was talk at the previous house of a hot tub, but you couldn't put in a hot tub there.
Well, there's too many people looking at you.
I know.
I mean, it wouldn't worry me.
The scary thing is, you are that kind of exhibitionist.
No, absolutely not.
You and your budgie smugglers.
Absolutely not. Don't worry me.
Oh, God. Oh.
Some things can never be unseen.
Oh, thank God you've come in. Phil was filling my head with terrible mental images.
Your imagination's doing all the legwork.
There's potential. You could
There's definitely potential.
extend, but you could never change the garden size.
No. Well, we set the bar very high, and we always thought that it might not be possible to reach it.
Sounds like a job done.
But my next place is a showstopper, so it's not all over yet.
You said it, Kirsty, and I'm hoping you can bring that wow factor with you as we take Paul and Ellie to their final flat. The Bristol market is ferocious. They've lost out on 3 properties in the past year, so we need to get them on the ladder before these places get priced out of reach. I'm staying in Redland, near the vibrant White Ladies Road, and for this tennis-loving pair, there's 3 clubs within a 15-minute walk of this property. So I hope we're about to serve an ace.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Happy and sunny Bristol.
It's a beautiful day. Looking forward to a beautiful property.
He's straight to the point there, Phil.
Indeed. Thankfully, I think that's just what we have. This 2-bedroom flat comes with a parking space and a garden. Inside, the space has been used extremely well. The kitchen opens out to a large living room, giving them plenty of the entertaining space thereafter. The bathroom and both double bedrooms are a good size, and the master has fitted wardrobes. And in this dog-eat-dog market, we've hit the bullseye. This place has been kittened out with a cat flap, which is one of Ellie's wants. It's priced at just under £280,000, so it's 20 grand under their ideal budget.
Now, this flat's been rented out, so it does need a bit of TLC.
This is nice.
And that's sort of what we said right from the beginning, is we're happy with cosmetic-y stuff.
Yesterday's flat, big garden, small flat.
Yeah.
This is
Big
quite a big
Bigger
flat,
flat.
smaller garden.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to have a look at that.
Come on.
He knows what he wants, Phil. I hope the garden delivers.
Oh, it's got lots of potential. A nice space for us to sit in the summer, a barbecue with some friends. It does all of that.
Good. Do you think Ellie will be liking this?
She tends to wear her emotions on her sleeve, and from the reaction when she walked in, I think she quite likes this.
So this would be Paul's domain.
Yeah.
Paul would be here washing up, cooking, and you would be putting your feet up on the sofa.
Yeah, with a glass of wine.
And that lovely view.
It's nice you can have a sociable kitchen, so you're not shut away cooking.
No.
And if friends come round, you can have a chat with them.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Out of 10, this flat, I won't tell Phil what you think.
8 at the moment.
Why don't you go and find what score Paul gives this flat?
Will do. Thank you.
Good score, but then nobody paints a picture like Ms. Allsop.
You could have little theatre curtains, and then you could say, this is a kitchen production from Paul.
Have you completely lost your marbles?
Be fun, just a bit of fun.
Well, at least some people are taking this seriously.
That's big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did Paul like the garden?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can leave
Yeah.
it now. That's it.
Do you think it's done?
Yeah, she said 8 out of 10, and
Really?
she hadn't even seen the bedrooms.
The bedrooms are in a different league to yesterday's.
Really nice and light.
Put our own stamp on it, couldn't we? Quite like the idea of a little project. Getting excited.
Great flat, great couple.
Great, you great, amazing, you great house hunter.
Great house. I'd forgot that bit. It's kind of you to remind me.
Being kind to Phil is occasionally a good idea.
So, Paul, I know what Ellie thinks. She said 8 out of 10. What do you reckon?
Wow, 8 out of 10. I go 7. I like
And
it
there's
a
a
lot.
cat flap as well, which is on my list.
That's
Perfect.
why. That's why it's an 8.
Sold.
Smiles on all faces.
Let's hope those smiles turn into definite decisions for Paul and Ellie.
We're catching up with two sets of first-time buyers who were struggling to secure their first homes. In Bristol, I got off to a slow start with Paul and Ellie, but my third property looks like a contender.
Nick and Steph also have a clear favourite, but my final offering could set them off in a different direction altogether. Because we're heading south, between the two main arteries leading to Glasgow.
The village of Plains could save Nick and Steph more than an hour's commute each day. It's not an area they've considered so far, but detached houses are selling for an average of £160,000 here.
Well, Property One is at the front of their minds. This glamorous pad could set their heads spinning.
This house, it is affordable. It's within your budget.
Okay.
It's been beautifully fitted out and done up, and it will muddy the waters.
I think we'll take the risk.
You're going to take the risk. Okie doke. That's what I like.
We could hit the jackpot on this house. It's twice the size of Property One. On the ground floor, there's a reception room on both sides of the spacious hallway, and the beautiful dining kitchen looks out onto the garden and the gym. Perfect for my fitness fans.
On the first floor, there were 3 bedrooms, including a beautiful master with roomy ensuite.
With lots of interest on the asking price, it offers over £155,000. This pristine pad is likely to sell closer to their 180 grand budget.
This is a proper hall. This isn't a hallway. This is a hall.
It's a proper.
And this is proper speechless.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the half of it yet.
Beautiful.
But a lot of it's furniture. It makes it look immaculate.
Yes, you're quite right. That is good. top marks there. Best student of the day.
I think Steph's got her eye on your job, Kirsty.
But this house practically sells itself.
The valuation is 165. The agent doesn't think it's going to go over 175.
Yeah, I'm very surprised.
So it's all about area.
Right, okay.
You can't add value to this.
Right.
You just move in and try and keep it as clean as it is.
Beautiful.
Go and have a look upstairs.
It's going to be a tough choice between this flash pad or Property 1 in Denny Lonehead.
We've both got 3 bedrooms.
Whereas-
Whereas the other one, you could extend, you could convert the garage.
Nobody behind you as well. Nobody behind us.
If they end up going for house number 1, it will be a very grown-up and sensible decision. Because this house is enough to turn anyone's head. What are you thinking?
Beautiful house. I'm just not getting the same feeling I did from the first property.
I think I fell in love with the first house, I think.
Do you need to see it again?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I
I
don't
got
think
that feeling. I had a feeling you were going to say that. After you two.
Since Steph and Nick have lost out twice before, I only hope we can make it third time lucky with Property 1.
Back in Bristol and determined not to lose out again, Paul and Ellie have decided Property 3 is the one.
I think that we're both convinced enough to put our offer in.
Good.
Put in
As low as
possible. Weirdly.
At £279,950, this flat is already 20 grand under Paul and Ellie's budget.
Have you got an idea?
I'm thinking 270. But even if you bought that flat at the full asking price of 9 on 280 and spent 10 on it, I think for every pound you put into it, you'd get 2 back. It's got to be worth 300, if not more, having had 10 grand spent on it. Should we have a go?
Let's have a go.
Adil, hi, it's Phil. We've just been having a lengthy chat here, and they do very much like that flat. So the offer that I've got for you is for 270,000.
First offer and 10 grand under the asking price.
They could complete that within a month of receipt of all your paperwork. OK.
They've been at this point 3 times before, but this time, Phil's in charge.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye. Hope that wasn't rude.
Being penny wise is never being rude.
I think we made a reasonable pitch. I think it's a sensible offer.
Yeah.
Steph and Nick are hatching their own plans about the Property 1 in Denny Lonehead. It's not on the open market, so having a clear run at the house puts them at an advantage.
There's no doubt that that house can be sold for 182, 183 with the following wind. What can you afford to pay for that house?
We're thinking 180.
I think they'd probably like to get a bit more, but then they're not paying an agent's fee. They've got a guaranteed buyer out there. But it is tougher when you're making an offer to the vendor themselves.
They've saved their entire deposit,
Dominique, it's Kirsty from Location.
and now Steph and Nick are pushing themselves to the very top of their budget.
I've sat down with them and they're very keen on the house. So do you think you would take 180,000? I know.
After 7 years together, living under separate roofs could soon be over.
It is a pleasure doing business with you. Whoa. Here's to it always being that easy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just can't believe it.
I know.
Amazing.
You keep those sunglasses on, Steph. Been a long time coming.
Oh, Angel, I was just... Oh, God. Oh, look, yeah. Well done, you. It's completely the right choice. It's a fantastic family house, and I want to see you two in that hot tub. I really do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
It's well-deserved celebrations for Steph and Nick.
Back in Bristol, Paul and Ellie are on tenterhooks as we wait for a call back about their offer.
Yes. Hi, Adil. Hi.
Our offer on the table is 10 grand under the asking price at £270,000.
OK.
Paul and Ellie have been in this position before, more than once.
Right, fair enough.
I just hope this is the last time.
We're in with a shout.
The vendor's abroad, so it might just be a case of no news is good news.
Or, I mean, as soon as you hear, ring me. Cheers, Adil. Bye. The good news is he thinks the vendor is looking for something closer to the asking price, but he's there to do business, he wants to sell it, and you're in a great position. Given that the flat is empty, to offer to complete within a month is a really strong card.
OK, that's interesting.
Empty properties cost people money.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid, I think for now we're going to have to leave that there.
Fine.
I will be on the phone to you as soon as I hear anything.
I'm not sure I can handle it. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for all your help.
Pleasure, great pleasure.
Cheers.
After some offers and counter-offers, we finally agreed the sale price at $275,000. They wasted no time rolling up their sleeves, and just over a year after their offer was accepted, they transformed the bland rental into a welcoming home.
It was a lot more of an undertaking than I think we were first imagining.
A survey showed up a few problems, and they realised the whole place needed a damp-proof course. Then they had to replaster and redecorate throughout.
You kind of don't want to spend your money on boring stuff like that. You want to buy nice furniture and pictures, but we knew it would be worth doing.
It is a huge relief not to be doing property searching, and we can have our weekends and our evenings to actually just enjoy the place that we're living in, because Bristol has been fantastic.
The property was overhauled in under 2 months for about 17 grand, and it's all been worth it.
Feels really, really nice and cosy. I just feel really comfortable here.
In Scotland, it's been 3 years since Nick and Steph secured their first home in Denny Lonehead, bringing an end to 7 years of living apart.
We've managed to spend a lot more time. I don't know if Nick's particularly enjoyed all that time. But yeah, it's been nice to have our own space.
And they really have made it their own. Inside, they've redecorated all 3 bedrooms, adding their own touches in every corner. The living room has been completely stripped back. From the parquet flooring to the stylish furniture, they've made their first home fabulously fashionable.
I didn't realise how much prep work went into painting a wall. The sanding down, the filling up the holes before you can even actually get the colour on the wall that you want to get.
And when Nick said he was up for getting his hands dirty, he meant it. He's completely transformed their garden space, removing a tricky tree from the front garden, re-landscaping the entire back garden, and in place of a hot tub, he's built them their own bar.
Got a newfound respect for Nick in terms of what he can do, because he made that all from scratch, and it's his own little masterpiece. So it doesn't matter if your house is a mess, you've got the bar there. So it feels like a proper night out.
Sometimes you'll actually leave the house and go down there and just put the telly on, and it's like you're just out somewhere else.
Our keen travellers still find the time to go on adventures, and have even managed to squeeze in an engagement.
The name of the bar is the Muck Inn. 2 years ago now, Nick proposed to me on the Isle of Muck.
We've booked a wedding.
We've finally asked all our wedding parties, so it's just getting down to like the nitty-gritty things. So 10 centimetres of a difference?
2 metres 200.
Oh, right, okay. When we got engaged, the idea was to have the full house completely redone by the time we get married. But we're 10 months out, and I don't see us getting a new kitchen, a new ensuite, a new bathroom all before then.
We'd like to extend the kitchen out the back, come out probably 2 or 3 metres.
And then have a kind of deeper dining area for more socialising.
More socialising.
Hi.
Despite being midway through a home renovation and wedding planning, social butterflies Nick and Steph have made the time to embed themselves in their new community.
Since moving in, we've made so many friends with all the neighbours all around about us. We've got the best of both worlds, being so close to Glasgow, so close to work, but also being in the countryside and having an incredible view and the wildlife we've got, the deer in the field behind us. It's incredible, it really is. Kirsty found us a house that we would never have found ourselves. It wasn't on the market. I don't think there were any immediate plans for it going on the market.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Couldn't have picked a better house.
And with the garden that we've got as well, it's just incredible.
Another success story, Kirsty. It's clear that Nick and Steph will continue to work on and love their house well into married life. Paul and Ellie wanted their Bristol home to bridge the divide between city and country. I hope their tale is just as triumphant.
The last time we saw Ellie and Paul, they'd turned the Redland flat into a happy haven and were loving life in Bristol. And now, well, I'm still in Bristol, but there's been a few changes.
The flat was just what they wanted as a couple, but 2 years after they moved in, life moved on and brought about a move to the outskirts of the city.
Someone's at home.
Come back.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Oh, my goodness me, there really have been some changes. There's somebody new.
Freya. Freya, this is
Hello,
Freya.
Freya. How lovely to meet you. Hello, Peter. Can I come in and see your lovely-looking house?
We'd love you to. Come on in.
Oh, my word. I don't know if it is new, is it still? It's different.
No.
Yeah.
I knew the flat in Redland was going to be a good investment for Paul and Ellie. It got them onto the property ladder and stood them in good stead for the move to this charming Victorian terrace fit for family life.
This all looks amazing.
Thank you.
But give me the whole kind of background. How did you get from the flat in Redland to here?
In 2015, we bought the flat.
Then I got pregnant and then we decided we needed more space. 2-bed flat, not quite big enough.
So you did OK with the flat. What did you pay for it? What did you sell it at?
Well, we negotiated down, I think, and paid $275. Spent some money renovating it.
Yeah.
Sold for
3, 4, 5.
Nice. So you were actually pregnant when you were house hunting? Came across this? Was that a simple process? Did you find it easy?
It was actually.
Actually,
Very
not
simple.
too bad in the end. Like, we knew the sort of area that we wanted to come to and the type of house, and we knew we wanted a garden and that sort of thing. So it narrowed it a bit.
I was hoping you were going to say, well, you learned from the best.
I mean, that goes without saying.
Paul and Ellie knew taking on a bit of work could get them a deal and got 25 grand off the £500,000 asking price. Knowing it would be a long-term home for them, they could afford to take on a bigger project.
Did it look like this when you bought it?
The front room had to be all sort of redone, replastered, and found some dodgy DIY in terms of removing chimney breasts and that sort of thing. New roof.
New roof?
Only at the back, but yeah.
They've redone the downstairs of the house, adding a downstairs loo, replacing the kitchen and knocking into what was once a utility room, creating a bright and tasteful breakfast room. Thankfully, Freya was on hand to help Mum and Dad with the work.
It looks like a happy home. Freya seems a bundle of energy. She's
a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun.
Can I have a look around?
Of course, yeah, please do.
The lounge was completely gutted, stripping the walls back to bare brick and moving the chimney breast before replastering and finishing with tasteful touches to make it homely.
So you've got 2 receptions.
Yes.
Very nice.
Really, really helpful when you've got a little one.
Yeah.
All of Freya's stuff goes in there, and well, I don't want to say this is just an adult space because clearly we failed there, but
Freya takes over anyway.
Yeah.
But you have got a lovely smartphone.
it is nice to like be able to sort of keep this as a bit of our room, and like she's got a space she can do whatever she likes in there.
Yeah, fantastic. And tell me, how's Bristol panned out for you? Because Bristol was a compromise, wasn't it, when you originally went house hunting or flat hunting for you both?
It was, and I'm, you know, still very much the country boy at heart, and Ellie's the city girl, and we sort of settled on Bristol because it is so good for that. Lots of green spaces, like the countryside around is beautiful. Can't say that I don't still hanker after like a little bit more of the rural life eventually, but at the moment it's great and we love it.
It was a steady stream of work. Upstairs, there are 4 bedrooms split across a first and second floor, none of which have been left untouched.
We've had to do a lot of decorating, painting, new carpets, new curtains, pretty much throughout the house.
It's lovely.
Thank
You've done a
you.
beautiful
Thank
job
you,
on it.
yeah.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, the process has been nice, making it sort of our own space.
You all look very happy and settled here.
Yes, we really like it. It's a lovely house, it's a really nice area.
Yeah.
We've got green space nearby. We've got lovely shops, coffee shops, cake shops, lots of independent retailers. And there's a nursery nearby and a couple of lovely schools.
It's been all change on the job front too. The 40-mile commute to Swindon is a thing of the past, and Ellie now works a 10-minute cycle away at the University of Bristol. Paul is still in the same job, but now works from his home office full-time. It seems it could scarcely have worked out better. I'd say the only thing this place is lacking is the cat that Ellie wanted, but clearly they've been busy.
Serious, amount of work you've done in quite a challenging environment as well. But it does look fantastic, and I can see that she's as happy as anything.
We've got our gardener, so
Yeah.
this bit's fine.
And your artist.
And our artist.
You know, it's really nice to come and see you all happy and settled again.
Thank you.
It is just wonderful to see that Ellie and Paul's first-time flat help them step up the ladder and buy a fantastic family home where they, along with gorgeous Freya, are clearly flourishing. And Steph and Nick are also doing well, having saved hard to leapfrog into a future-proof home, which they really made their own. So I'd say that's job's a good one.
If you'd like help finding your next home, then we want to hear from you. You can apply online at channel4.com/take part.